I was giving the dollar a chance to be bad yesterday. It was for a while, but if you don't learn how to change your mind, you won't have any change left. Euro and pound look negative to me again. The yen looks to be the leader. But it's at resistance. I wouldn't short it here because momentum's looking pretty strong, and the dollar looks good to me. So I think that instead of the stop hunts above the 109.80, they're going to go for the stops under 107.75 and eventually 107.12. That's the way it looks to me going home. Because it was a weaker than expected report, and you can't stop King Dollar, right?
Seems so.
It wasn't as, I think, well, I disagree on that. I think it was, yeah, less than expected officially, but I think that real expectations were a bit weaker, and with better than expected personal consumption and the fact that inventories are a drag on GDP, I see it sort of as not too shabby or could have been worse. Okay. The market was more in a tin hat mode, and it's not good. It's not good. Good number,
not too hot, not too cold. It's like the porridge, right? Little Red Riding Hood. Anyway, that's my view. Dollar looks like the path of least resistance is higher. It had a chance to be bad yesterday, and it let that chance slip away. So I'm looking for a down euro.
Down euro and dollar king.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Dave. For
all right. Listen, guys. Have a great weekend. I'll see you, Val. Have a nice trip, Yohay.
Thanks.
Okay, Mauricio. I'll see everyone in the room.
Okay, see you in 10 minutes in the live analysis room.
All right, buddy.
Bye-bye.
Good hunting.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
So, Valeria, what's levels
Well,
we need to watch in cable and euro and Japanese yen?
Well, for the euro, the immediate support is around 850 for me, 840. This is a Fibonacci level, and the pair has stalled around it many times. And if we take it, we can go all the way down to 800 today. And particularly if this current dollar strength remains after the US opening. I'm not seeing much of an upward potential. 880, 920, 30 is the resistance. Will probably remain capped by that area if somehow the rally reverses. And the pound looks really weak. We have these lows around 42.30, which Yohay mentioned already earlier today. So I would say that a bit below that level, the decline may resume towards 41.70. It's the more bearish one. The pound is the weakest. It's still the weakest. So I do believe that that's the way to go. And spikes, I really believe that spikes are still seen as selling opportunities. 43.10 and 43.60 are my levels. And for the dollar Japanese yen, unbelievable. We're about to take that high. So if we take it, 21.70 in the short term, right? Counts as the first resistance, and then we can go up to 22.20 or so. And those are my levels. I'm not seeing clear whatever's going on in the OC, but what I can see is that we broke this daily ascendant trend line, and yesterday, we have been pulling back to it, and so far the price has refused to remain above the trend line. So maybe selling against the trend line if we break the daily low could be another interesting trade today. That the OC will depend, however, on how oil behaves, right? If oil gets weaker, the OC and the CAD will weaken also.
Okay. Thank you, Val.
Thank you.
Thank you for being with us. It's been a pleasure. What a week. It's been like two events and quiet reactions. It's okay. Okay. So thank you, Val. So, yeah, go ahead.
Thank you and bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye, Yohay. Have a nice day.
Bye-bye.
Okay, Yohay, it's you and me now. And I want to ask you about your approach on what happened today with the GDP and what's going on in the United States and what is the most possible outcome in Forex.
Well, more movement than we had in the Fed, specifically in euro dollar. It's on the move, 50 or so pips lower. I think the outcome was sort of a bit better than expected because of consumer, personal consumption, and inventories. And I think markets were awaiting a worse outcome. So that's dollar positive, and especially against the euro. Finally, it's moving. Basically, it's just moving back into the range, back to the levels we've seen beforehand. So it also makes sense. It's not like we have a breakdown or a breakup. Anyway, yeah, the next moves, I think euro dollar is still stuck in range 107.80 and 110, but the actual range is much smaller. I have this chart here with the triangle, and it's not about to pop anytime soon, I think. And the yen is, as Val said, moving on the Bank of Japan, and like Dale said, it's close to resistance, and air is becoming a bit thin over there. I don't think it can have enough momentum to continue higher. Pound, yeah, more pressure to the downside because of what Carney said in the past. Commodity currencies, well, I have nothing else to add after what Val said. I'll just say one last thing, that it's the end of the month and then the end of the very turbulent month in markets. And this means we also have end-of-month flows, and we could have choppy action, especially around the London fix, which is 3 GMT, if I'm not mistaken, in an hour from now. But also before that and after that, so just be careful out there.
Okay, thank you, Yohay, for being with us. It has been a pleasure for second time this week. Yeah, I invite everybody to join Yohay in his European Live Open Market. Yeah, can you explain us what do you do in your show, the daily show?
Yeah, sure. Well, we talk about everything that happened in the last 24 hours, fundamentals that moves markets, what technical levels we're watching on charts, talk about the next events to watch out for markets. And the most important part of the show of every morning is your questions. We have a live chat, and I try to provide the most detailed answers as possible. On Fridays, we also do a preview for the next week's events. And that's it, every morning, 8 GMT. Specifically next week, there will not be a show on Monday, only the week will begin for me on Tuesday, but we'll recap everything, GDP, everything on Monday, Tuesday, everything. No worries.
Okay, Yohay, thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you,
have a good trip, good time in Seville, and see you on Tuesday.
Okay, have a great weekend. Bye.
Okay, guys.